What a day.
What a day. OMG. Seriously. It was a good day, but it was a long day.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
I know, you just were live. I was watching you, and I was like, I'm going to take a nap before I go on, and then I was like, I can't take a nap.
No naps.
No, I put eyeliner on instead of a nap. I'm like, that's what girls do.
Yeah, no eyeliner for me.
No. So what's up? All right, so I don't know if it's my synesthesia or what, but whenever you drink out of that thing,
yes,
I love the sound of the ice.
It's great though.
I know, I comment every time you do it, and it's like there's something synesthetically about it that's very pleasing to me.
Sure, there's different sounds that calm people. It's like the Calm app. I can hear raindrops going and it lulls me to sleep. Some people like the white noise, but like it could just be the way that the different textures that are bouncing off of each other.
Yeah, but for some reason I could taste like that. When you like have ice cubes that are made in the refrigerator, but they're like the water's like, like Bayonne water or Nutley water. It's not like restaurant water. It's like,
yeah,
I can't explain it. Every time I hear that noise, that's what I think of. So Kathy's here. Kathy is like so cool from Florida, always chiming in and saying hello on my stuff. She said she met me through you, so thank you. My mom's here. Daria's here, of course.
I can't see anybody who's here.
You can't see in your like news feed? It's not there?
No, because I can't log in through Facebook. I had to log in through the Safari because I'm on my iPhone.
Oh.
Anything that's happening. So if anybody asks anything, you have to relay it to me.
They were all asking. No, I don't even know. I can't make anything up. I'm like, what? Listen, I brought ice cubes and I brought, this is what I have. This is the whiskey I have.
Okay. What's the name of it?
Sagmore Spirit Rye. So the guy at the liquor store a couple weeks ago, when I was brave enough to go in, and I said to him, my friend got me this stuff and it was from Silk City. He goes, we don't carry that. I said, no, I know that. But he just said, this is a good one also.
Okay.
And I thought maybe you might know it. What up, Kathy Palmer? All right. So are you drinking or no?
I'm going to. I downed 2 of those gigantic iced coffees in 50 minutes and I'm wired for sound. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. Well, I figured I had to have some coffee because I'm normally more low key, and I figured you'd be on a trampoline or.
I am.
Yeah, exactly. So
exactly.
I have to keep up a little bit.
Hey, Barbara, how are you? Well, all right. Well, honestly, you know what I did today? I spent the day. I went out. I was supposed to go have like one like social distancing hour or 2 with Gail, my barber, and it wound up being like hours.
Good.
She was so cute. She made like these little egg salad sandwiches underneath a thing. We had to like use our little gloved hand and pick it up, and it was like the cutest thing. And then I wound up doing my 3 o'clock to 3:30 beauty quarantine live stream from her house because somebody blocked me in her driveway. It was the people from Comcast.
That's great. I have on my street because I have a horrible street where I have no parking. So like I had this great little gimmick where I would have both of my cars. When I would go out, I'd move my other car halfway through. So it's spots. And then this mongrel who lives across the street from me now has an Escalade pickup who takes up 2 spots to begin with and went right up my ass. So I couldn't park my car. So like I've been fighting for 2 weeks to have a parking spot. It's yes. It's the only bad thing about where I live is the parking situation is atrocious.
The only bad thing besides the name is sour mayonnaise.
well, and the smell, Plus I live a block from the hospital too. So I constantly hear sirens all day long.
Oh, God. Hey, Barbara, what's up? Barbara says, hi, Donna and Sean. Mark Natale says, what's up, Donna and Sean? I love this. We should have a show together because I swear to God, so many people are like, they know us. It's like we're like Donnie and Marie.
Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree.
As long as like, you're like a little bit Volbeat and I'm a little bit country.
Yeah, as long as we're not like the carpenters, you know what I mean? Because like I don't want you to die.
No, you know what? I'm too cheap to throw up my meals, actually.
That's true. That is very true. You are. There's a lot of cheese to throw up too.
That's a lot. And my teeth are nice. I'm not messing them up.
Very true.
My mother's like, do you have parking permits on the street? These are the deep questions my mother asks.
Yes, we have virtual parking permits now. You have to virtually register your car in my town.
What does that even mean?
We used to have permits that you'd put the sticker on the back of your car, and now they don't do that. You have to virtually register your car. So like if God forbid, like you had to fumigate your house, right? And you couldn't be there for a week and you had to stay here, I would have to get on there and register your car's plates into the system so they wouldn't ticket you.
Wow.
Yes. It's big city life.
You know what though? You can't you can't park overnight here. Like you have to literally send in on an app your license and car and whatever. And it's weird because it's to the point where Carly has stayed here, right? My daughter. And because her lease is still like under my name, even though she pays for the lease. So because of that, one night she was staying here during the holidays or something. And they were like, you can't park on the street because you live there. Your car is registered. Park in the driveway. And it's like, what?
You should be able to park if you want.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. My mother, get a sticker, put it on the back of your window. La, 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 la. Ma, it's okay. We're going to solve those problems later.
Don't pick on.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I saw your mom in the car today with the mask on. Wait, I'm going to tell you right now. Now playing the part of loose wheel. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay. She literally had a mask on in the car. Yeah. You realize, like, I don't have the Rona, right? She goes, yeah, it's a pain in the ass to take it on and off. I'm like, you realize it takes 45 minutes to get to this store, right? So she just, instead of just taking the 3 seconds to take it off, she drove with it for 45 minutes.
Oh, I love her that she did that, though. I have to tell you, I love her. All right, let's see. Barbara, you can't park overnight in Woodbridge either. You have to call and give your personal plates. Daria, that is insane. Tell Sean you don't have to do that on Staten Island. But he said it's still not worth living on Staten Island. And he didn't even say that, but I know exactly that's what he's going to say.
Staten Island is known for one thing, a dump. It's the only thing it's for. And I went to school there too.
What was that?
I went to college there.
They have a college there?
They actually have 3. They have CSI, which is College of Staten Island. They have Wagner University, which is a great college. Our friend Soul Joel is from there.
Wow.
And right up the street from Wagner is where I went at St. John's University.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Kathy says, how long are you guys friends?
Woo! I'd say 4 years at this point, right? How long are you doing comedy?
4.5 years.
So I was about a year in. You were about a year in when I, so figure 3.5, 4 years.
Really? Was I really?
Yeah, you're a baby.
Well, I'm still a baby. I'm still a baby, technically.
No, you're fine
I'm
now.
I'm a toddler.
You're a toddler, yes.
Yeah. I knew that was the answer.
You just stopped pooping your pants, basically.
Oh, God. Let me tell you something, Kathy. This is the guy that's helped me stop pooping my pants. And it's been crazy. I can tell you that right now.
You wear white jeans comfortable.
You are white jeans comfortable. That is hilarious. Yeah. I still have down here, or did I put it back upstairs? Wait, let me see. Wait a minute. Did I bring it back upstairs? I might have. Yeah, I put it back. Oh, no, I didn't. I brought it down here. Look at this. Was the gift you gave me.
Yes.
I love this.
Yes.
My favorite 45, Rhinestone Cowboy. I love this. And that's the night I let him down and I shit myself on stage. But whatever. So what else? Ask Sean why he went to school in Staten Island if he hates it so much. Honestly, that's the only place I would give him money. That's the answer right there. I'm going to just guess that because it's got to be, right, Sean?
I wanted to go away to school. I really, really did. And I couldn't because I'm an only child. My mom's a single mom, so I didn't want to leave her alone. So I wanted to go to, my first choice was actually going to Iowa. I wanted to go to the University of Iowa.
Wow, really?
I wanted to go to the University of Iowa. And then I wanted to go to a school called Lock Haven University, which is in Pennsylvania, not too far. And then my uncle said I can go live with him and go to University of Massachusetts. That was my pick. But the problem was because I was out of state, they said I couldn't join the fall. I have to wait till spring. So I knew if I took a semester off, I'd never go.
You would never go.
So I had gotten a scholarship to St. John's, and I went there instead and commuted.
That's awesome.
Yep.
What did you get a degree in?
Well, I never finished number one.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, my only regret in life is not finishing, but I will fix that short.
Actually, I did hear that on one of your things. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's okay. Pay attention once in a while. Focus.
No, focus. So, that's my tattoo.
No shit, Sherlock. I started as a communications major, and then I shifted over to double major in criminal justice and psychology. Because at the time, becoming a lawyer, and then I worked in a law firm for a while, and then I worked for a year, and then I decided, I don't want to be a lawyer. So then I wanted to go into criminal, like forensic psychology, and then then life happened. So
you would have been very good as a litigator.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You would have been a beast as a litigator. You would have been like, because to me, one of your fortes is definitely roasting. Like, you're just very good at it. You're very, very talented at it.
I could be mean.
But I know, but it's not just being mean. There's more to it than being mean. There's a calculated, educated kind of a script to it that you have to actually write and know. And that to me would have been a skill that you could have used as an attorney.
I think so too. And I mean, roasting is so different. It's so different than just doing stand-up comedy.
Yes, it totally is.
Very. You have to first, you have to know the person, number one. Number two, you have to know their faults. You have to know the things that bother them. You have to know how they tick. So like if I roast a celebrity, it's easy because there's so much common knowledge and public knowledge about a celebrity. Like I've done, the Friars Club and all these other bullshit things. But when you roast a friend, it's different.
I know. I've been on the receiving end of it.
I liked doing it and I hated doing it at the same time. But again, I told you, and it's the title of Jeff Ross's book, you only roast the ones you love. And it's very, very important because you can do it. You knock them down and then you build them back up. And it's really the ultimate sign of respect in the comedy world if you get roasted.
Well, then, thank you, because I'm fully respected by Sean Morton. Because I got to tell you, I remember for my birthday that you did it, and you didn't even go full in. And I think for me, I was just nervous because you know more about me than a lot of people do, and I just wasn't really sure if I was ready for everybody to know everything.
No, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go all in.
No, it was great though. It was great. So what's going on? Like, what are your thoughts right now about what is happening with comedy? Sincerely, I know that you just talked for an hour on your thing, but I wanted to be able to ask you these questions from my perspective, for the people that watch me and know that we are friends.
I don't think comedy clubs are going to be the same for a long, long, long time. I think that private stuff will be a lot easier to do, which is what we mostly do a lot of. I mean, me and you do more private stuff than we do comedy clubs. There's clubs opening now in the Midwest, which I've already reached out to, and they've already said, we're only doing 25 to 30% capacity. We are cutting pay. So that's another thing we got to worry about too. I don't think I'm going to be on stage this year, personally. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be this year. Well, I shouldn't say this year. I mean, at a very minimum, it's going to be September, October.
I was going to say even November. I'm like, because it's crazy right now. It's crazy right now.
Picked a great time to go full time, didn't I?
Well, you picked a fine time to leave me Lucille. I mean, that is very true. And hey, what's up, Lynn O'Brien? It's crazy because a lot of people have picked a fine time for a lot of things right now. It's wild to me. Have you noticed the serendipity of a lot of people's lives that's kind of occurring during this period? I think it's crazy.
Absolutely. I think the world as we know is going to be very different. I mean, when you see a company like Twitter, who is one of the biggest companies in the world, has said on record 2 days ago, people are working from home forever.
Yeah.
Twitter is never having anybody working in their office again. And I think that's going to be, it's going to be a gigantic shift. Like, you don't even realize the level of change that happens when one building that Twitter owns that they are not going to use anymore. So that means, well, as far as cleaning people,
Yes.
they're out of a job. You know, the numbers go down for Con Ed, for the for the internet. Who's going to take over the building? So now there's the bank that's going to be, have to worry about a loan going out for a building. There's so much stuff that
Everything's a ripple effect. I 1000% agree.
So it's going to be very different. I think telecommuting is going to be very big now. I don't go political, but I think one of the stupidest things I ever heard was Cuomo saying that he believes that teleconferencing with students is the way to go. No, that's the absolute worst thing you could possibly do, because kids need interaction.
Oh, totally.
What are you going to have? You're going to have a bunch of 30 kids sitting in front of a computer talking to each other, and you're going to create a generation of sociopaths. That's what's going to happen. So the kids need interaction. You can't ever say that teachers don't need to work in a classroom. They do. And I think teachers are going to wind up, I would hope teachers are going to wind up getting a gigantic pay raise, because I think a lot of people now are realizing that sitting home with their little bratty kids, what kind of an amazing job teachers do.
Yeah.
By reeling 30 of these little animals in a day, and you're dealing with one. So you're lucky your kids are older, but like I have friends who have anywhere from 5-year-old twins to like teenagers, and they run the gamut of emotion and frustration and anxiety of teaching these kids at home, making sure that they're learning. It is tough. So I really hope.
No, I agree with you. I just did a career day for a friend of mine who teaches in Newark. Mm-hmm. And like literally, I mean, she is teaching these kids virtually. There really is, like, we just assume that there are parents home that are supporting the whole teaching process. And that is not necessarily always the case. There are some people that are home, and there are some people that maybe don't work currently, that are like the let's call it the housewife, which whatever, I don't care if I offend anybody, but like that person that's home that maybe is teaching their kids. And then you have somebody who, like people I know, which is why I started doing that whole reading thing, they need a friggin' break, because they're working from home, doing their job from home, and teaching their kids. So it's double duty. So yes, I understand that they're respecting teachers more for what they're doing, but I find it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get shit for this, but I'm gonna say it, because I have friends that are on all ends of the spectrum, but it's not like there's teachers in a classroom who are also selling Mary Kay out of their desk. Like, and that's like a minutia of a job, and whatever if I offended Mary Kay people, but get a pink card, shut up. But I'm saying that, like, if I am working for, let's say, Twitter, and they say to me, you're working from home, and I have 3 kids in 3 different grades, and now I have to teach them. Mm-hmm. That's very different than a teacher that has to then come up with another job in the school. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And you got to think too that you're forcing people to watch their kids at home while they're trying to maintain a level of professionalism working at home as well.
Yeah.
The work life has to be suffering too. So it's another situation that you're putting people in. Like, all right, you want your kids to drift off and not do their schoolwork, so you have to watch them, or do you not give a shit, and do you just go about your day because you have to pay bills?
But again, we're going back to, if you remember, think about like a 50s housewife, right? 50s housewife, their job was to stay home all day long. The kids went to school, they cooked, they got the slippers for the husband. We're talking like in a TV show, 50s housewife, bring the pipe and the drink to the husband, whatever. And then all of a sudden, then homeschooling started to become maybe a thing. I feel like now it's like, that's kind of what they're doing to these people that have jobs. They're saying, well, you have to keep and maintain the level of home that you kept. The pie better be baked, the shoes, but the slippers better be there, the pipe better be there, and the drink better be there. I don't care what else you have to do because that's your main focus.
Right.
I think it's weird how the script is like flipped, and I think it's wild.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Plus, you got to remember too, people who are working from home. It's also very tough because you're now, this is your office, right? Where your home is your sanctuary. Like your home, like if you go out to work and then you come home to your sanctuary, and then you could do whatever you want. Now you can't make that separation either. You can't go from saying, okay, it's 8:30, I'm logging in and I'm doing my Zoom meetings and my cold calls or whatever you're doing for your job, and maybe you have a half an hour break for lunch, but you're still in your house. And then you go back to work, and then it's 5 o'clock. How do you make the separation? How do you say for the last 8.5 hours, I was in my office, but now I'm in my home? It's a total mind manipulation.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
I
crazy.
don't work from home. I truly don't, because I mean, I could never get anything done.
I could never do it. I don't have the focus. Like, all kidding aside, my brother, when he went from working in an office on the green up in Morristown, and this was like years ago, and they decided to save money. They were gonna make everybody work from home so they could stop utilizing the building they had to rent. And that's how they started out with that. And then he said to me, Donna, I miss the interaction with people. He said he got depressed. I mean, fuck it. Look at now how many people are drinking. I was on a salon I was watching from, I want to say California today. They were doing some demo of what it's like to go back to work. And they said they called it their pre-bitch meeting or something that they do before work. So this woman was had a whiteboard up, and she's writing stuff down from her employees. And she said, what is it that you miss? Like, what are you bitching about? Like, let's get it out now before the clients come in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, like, the first things were, I'm going to miss drinking Tito's all day. I'm going to miss having coffee all day. I'm going to miss staying home. 21 days creates a habit, and I've been here for 9 weeks. I've talked to you privately about it, and I'm not even like weird about saying it publicly. This is going to be hard to go back to work.
Sure. I get it. I completely, well, I don't have to worry about going back to work right now, but it's, I get it. I completely get it, because you're absolutely right. It is a 21-day cycle. It's whether it's you're doing a drug, whether it's you're getting off a drug, whether you're going to the gym, whether
Yep.
your lifestyle, like food wise, whether you're doing meditation, it takes 21 days to create a habit. And this has been 9 weeks. So now we basically are in a rut. Like we have completely changed our whole cycles with everything.
Everything.
I was before, like my sleep schedule is screwed. Like I don't sleep to begin with. Like I get very, very little sleep to begin with. But now it's like I was dozing at 6:45. I knew I had to go on to my live feed at 7 o'clock. So like I got hopped up on coffee because I knew I had to deal with a psychopath at 8 o'clock. And then, yeah. So now I'll be wired until 2 o'clock in the morning. And then like I'll doze off and I'll be up at 5.
Yeah, see, I'm not having an issue.
Circadian rhythms are horrible.
Yeah, I'm not really having a big issue with sleeping. My whole thing is I have the most excruciating neck pain that I've never had, where I cannot turn my head or like do a full like neck whatever roll in the morning. It's like I'm getting a lot of headaches. So I don't know what it is.
You think maybe it's from bouncing on a trampoline every night and you're shifting?
I mean, it could be, but I think it's tension and stress is the neck thing.
Could be.
And at least now it's like been consistent where it's just right back here. When we first started with this whole thing, it started on my right side and went down this way. And then it crept back up. And now it literally is like I'm wearing a hanger in the back of my shirt all the time.
That's not good.
No, and I just kind of gotten used to it. And it's, strange. But wait, who is saying what? Let's see. I've been working 5.5 days. I'll be working. My mother's working, but somebody just said, "Leave my friend Sean alone." But who's messing with your friend Sean? I don't know. I don't know, but we all love Sean, so nobody's messing with Sean. I'll kick their ass, whatever. It's a pinched nerve, says Frank. Simon, you need a good chiropractor and a good neck massage. Yeah, but Frank, you know what? I haven't even gone out to a store, never mind let anybody touch me. My God.
Yeah, I go out all the time. I have to.
I know. Today when I saw you out and I called you and you were like, yeah, I was in, what was you, Brooklyn?
I went to the Bronx. I went to
Oh,
Rams. Went to Costco. Went to ShopRite.
what was the line like? I just want to eat. I want to drink this ice right now. I'm so thirsty.
They're not bad. I mean, look, I went to the Target by you last
You
Saturday.
did?
Yeah, I was at the Target. I went to the Target by you because I had to go. I did a drive-by at my friend's house to see my little nephew, and so
The one with the glasses?
yes,
Oh, he's so cute.
he's adorable. And I went to I said, let me drive out of Target, and there was two lines. There was one to get in. There was one for online pickup. And
Oh.
the one to get in was about 150 people, and then the online pickup line was about 80 people. So I'm like, you know what? There's nothing I need in my life that I have
There's
to.
nothing I need.
But like the one that I go to, I've never waited online for the last 9 weeks.
Well, it's Bayonne, right?
Jersey City.
Yeah, no one wants to go there.
No one wants to go to Jersey City. But I walked right in. But that's the thing. Like, I would never go to a Target if I didn't have to. But now that it's one of only 4 places that I go to, I make it a point to go there. Like, that's the way that my mind goes. Like, if there's something that I can be doing, I will do it.
Well, I am ordering a pool to sit in my yard.
Okay.
And if it's only at the Jersey City Target, I'm going to beg you to pick it up for me if there's no one. Because let me tell you something. It has been out of stock to deliver. They get like one delivery, maybe every other day. And I have a gift card for Target. I'm like, I'm going to use it for this pool so me and the kids could sit and chill out and social distance and talk. I mean, like, what else am I going to do? Thank God I went on vacation in January.
Mm-hmm. So I got very lucky too doing that cruise in February.
Yes, you did.
You know, I got very, very lucky. There was nobody got sick on that, and it was a beautiful time. It was relaxed, chill, and then we came back, and a week later, everything shut down.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very strange, very, very strange. But
this is so sci-fi. Like, I truly believe that. I have never in all of my life, no joke, no exaggeration, ever gone on vacation except for in July, because I've had my business for 19 years and being a single mom, my kids, their dad's birthday was June 28th or is June 28th. So if he took them away for his birthday, that was the only time I'd be able to go on vacation. And if not, I would choose to go then because July 4th, and it would never like truly interfere with a full work week. Right. This is the first time in my entire life I went away in January. And I said to my friends that I went with, how crazy is it? Because if we didn't go away in January, when will we go away?
Yeah, I agree. One way that we're alive is I'm a firm believer in everything happening for a reason. Everything happening for a reason. Me not working as of Valentine's Day gave me the opportunity to be able to go on unemployment before 3 million people got laid off. So it was able for me to be able to get set up and do all that stuff.
That's
and
great.
About waiting 5 and 6 weeks like some people are doing, I'm a believer in it, and you just got to put faith into what's out there, and it'll guide you away.
I totally agree with that. For me, I feel like I was so fearful. I just had this conversation today with Gail and her husband. I was so fearful of taking a day off, and I've been out for 9 weeks with no unemployment, and I'm not eating sawdust sandwiches. So like, I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm like living high on the hog, but I'm certainly not putting on fake glasses with a bunch of pencils in a cup, collecting change on a street corner either. So like, it is wild. It is wild. But I've always believed in the universe taking care of me and depending on that, like my whole life.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I do believe that there is some sort of script out there, if you will, and it's already been written and it's already there, and I'm just going with the flow.
You have because I've tried to explain this to a lot of people when they say that they worry. Worrying does nothing. It does nothing. All it does is causes you stress, causes your blood pressure to go up, gives you heart disease, makes you die. Doesn't do anything because
Well,
whatever happens is going to happen.
I have to turn this light off because this noise is killing my ADD. My worry also is a complete waste of energy, because if you could take the energy that you use to worry to actually fulfill something that you don't need to worry about,
Right.
you'll be in a much better place. But the energy, it's funny because I have not been doing comedy very long in consideration with many other people. But yet for some reason, I'll still have people that are younger in it than I am, and they'll say to me, you look really comfortable up there. Like, what is it that you could tell me? And I'm like, well, one thing I could tell you that I've learned, but it's not just from that, it's from everything in my life. It's from being a single mother, it's from being a business owner, and it's a continuous thing that I find has gone through the thread that is literally run through my life is before you get on stage, there's like this feeling of excitement that I like to say is like lightning in a bottle, which is funny because Natty Bumper Car will always say that before I go on stage, which is very sweet. But in all reality, I feel like that's what it is. And I feel like when I was a kid, my grandmother used to say to us in a thunder and lightning storm that you had to close all the windows in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't, you had to leave two open. You had to leave one for an entry and one for an exit, because lightning will never exit the same window it entered. This is what my grandmother taught me. Now, do I know if that's 1,000% true or not? I don't know. But what I learned from that is that the same energy that comes into you and creates that excitement has to exit from somewhere else. So the excitement of wanting to do something like comedy or achieve something, you need to find an exit for it. So it's doing the comedy or changing your life or whatever it is. But it's like if you just let it sit inside you, it does two things. It either continues to excite you or it burns the shit out of your organs.
Right.
And you need to let it out. You need to have an outlet. So whether it be, that's why we're doing, God, think about this, Sean. This is 9 weeks. We started doing this at 7 and 8. Like, first I started doing it like random, 8 to 10, 9, whatever. Then you were doing your show. And then we started to actually do it like if we were like a syndicated program. Sean was going on at 7. I was going on at 8. That's 8 weeks ago. Let's say the first week we were willy-nilly.
Right.
For 8 weeks, we've decided to take that energy that could have been defeating us or eating us up, and we let it out every day. And I'm so grateful that we have that. And that's why I was like, let's do this together today.
Yeah, and it's one of the things too, and you understand this too. There's been a couple times that you've taken off, and I said to myself, I was not taking off one night, and then the night came, and I was like, you know what, I am taking the night off. But it's as much for us as it is for other people, and I didn't realize it. Like there was a couple times where I was like, you know what, it was early in the day, and it was like 2:30, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. I got 4.5 hours to go. I'm not doing this shit tonight. And literally minutes later, a friend of mine would message me and say, hey, I didn't know if you knew this or not, but I've been in the hospital for 16 days with the virus. And, I sleep most of the day. I happen to be up at 7. I watch your show every night at 7 o'clock. It makes me happy. Thank you so much. What do you do with that? You just say, oh, really? Were you tired from watching Bar Rescue all day, you fat loser? Really? That's what I was doing. Like I was getting tired from watching television. And I'm like, you know what? This is what we have to do. We have to channel. I won't say, in a way, it's a gift. In a way, it's a gift. If we have something that we have to do for ourselves, we can channel it into doing it for other people.
Oh,
for this time period, this is what we're doing. We're trying to. You're very much like me in a lot of ways where you don't want to talk about certain things, and it's people can go and do their thing and talk about Trump and talk about Biden. I could give two shits.
I don't even care.
I don't want to talk about. I have my own beliefs, and you know what the beliefs are? They're mine. They're mine. You know what I mean? And I don't need to push them on anybody. So what I wanted to do was go out and just say, you know what? Let's talk about the stupidest shit ever. And let's talk about fun stuff. And let's take your mind off of this garbage that's going on in this world right now. And you know what? There's going to be a time when our lives will go back to normal. They will go back to normal. Well, whatever kind of normal it's going to be. And we're not going to do this every night.
And I'm sad about that, believe it or not.
Well, you are. I'm not. But
I am.
well, but
I literally thought today, how can I, when the salon opens back up, I need to at least read to the kids. I have to find a way because let's just say that this happens to be where, I go back into the salon in June. These kids are on summer break. They've already been home. And all I could think of is, and my mother knows this, and I love my mother, but my mother is is a single mother, but was a single working mother. I was raised by my grandparents. My home existence was not the best. And if I could provide 1 hour a day for these kids to laugh and to have, hope and to do something, I cannot take that away from them. And I know that sounds almost egotistical and I don't mean it to sound that way,
no.
but like I know from the messages I've gotten that there are kids out there that like what I'm doing. I told you my friend today, I was on her in Newark doing career day yesterday. And I told the kids, if you guys want to watch this, you can. And I know some of those kids are sitting home alone. And it's not because their parents are out at work.
Mm-hmm.
Their parents just don't give a shit.
Sure.
And it has nothing to do with where they live in Newark. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, the easiest thing you can do is you don't have to do it live. You can just tape it every day. You could tape it every day and post it in the morning. It's very simple. I understand what you want to do because in case there's some sort of interaction, you want to have.
This is coffee, by the way, just so you know, it's coffee.
Coffee? Okay. You can always tape it, but I do think it's a great thing. You know what I mean? I do think it's a great thing. And you don't know where it's going to go. I mean, you have no idea in this ridiculous topsy-turvy industry that we're in. You have no idea what is going to click, what's going to be the one thing.
Yeah.
That stupid video that we did with the John.
I love that video.
I was convinced that was going to have 100,000 views.
I know.
I thought that was a brilliant thing, and we got stuck at 1,000, and that's fine. You know what? 1,000 people, so that's totally fine. But you never know. We can do something stupid at a gig, and it could get 5 million views, and it could blow us up. You'd never know what's going to be that one thing.
Well, and you know what, too? The other thing is, if you don't, yes, you are 1,000% right. Somebody could have seen it and it could have blown up. But then there are you have to shove it out there. It's like one of those money market mailers. It's like, I've never used a certain pizzeria in my town, but if I got a coupon for it, and it's not like we're not couponing, but it's like, you never know whatever it's going to come across. I got a phone call. I think I told you this the other day from somebody from the, recreation department in Bloomfield. They're like, "Oh, I heard you're reading to the kids, and can we share your stuff?" Yeah, you could share. Yeah, why wouldn't you? But other than that, it's pretty much in a vacuum every morning with the same 10 people. But I would never stop it because those 10 people need it.
Right. I feel the same way, and I see a lot of the same people every single night. But when they tell you, listen, I had a bad day. Thank you for just rambling.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. And it doesn't matter if it's just like doing comedy. If you're doing comedy for 10 people or you're doing it for 1,000 people, it's the same show.
Yeah.
It should be the same show.
Right. Exactly. That's true.
We've both been in that situation,
Yeah. I remember one time, you have had way more experience than me, but I remember one time I had to go to, was it Broadway Comedy Club? And there were 2 people in the audience, 2 people. And literally all I remember is somebody saying to me once, it may have been you, it could have been other people. I don't remember. You need to go in and you need to act like you are in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, absolutely.
At all times. And I was like, "What's up, everybody?" High energy. And there were 2 women. Mm-hmm. I'm like, and it was Mother's Day weekend. I'm like, "Where my mom's at?" And neither one of them clapped. I'm like, "Saving your eggs for something special?" I was like, I don't fucking know what to say to that, I'm like, but it was like, what are you going to do?
Listen, some of the best shows I've ever had in my life were to 20 people. some of the worst shows I've had in my life were in front of 1,000 people.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. I would shit myself.
You can never tell. I mean, you can never ever tell, and that's why you just got to always go out and give them the show that they deserve, because you know what, whether the club made $100 that night or whether the club made $15,000 that night, they're still paying you to work.
That's right.
So, and
it's so true.
Business, and that's, people don't understand that. I mentioned this yesterday. I did the podcast yesterday, and I said that people don't understand that this could be a hobby for a lot of people. It could be just something fun that people like to do, or you can make a living doing this. And if you make a living doing it, you got to make it into a business.
Right.
And it's a weird thing to say, you know. And I always go back to this one documentary I saw on Bon Jovi that was on Showtime. And they said, they asked him a question about being a great lead singer. And he bluntly said, "Oh no, I'm not a lead singer of a band. I'm a CEO of a multi-million-dollar corporation."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like that kind of sounded douchey a little bit, you know, but I understand where he's coming from, because like there's so many other things in this business that you have to worry about. And being funny is obviously the most important thing, but there's so many things you have to worry about, and people don't get.
Yeah. Now listen, when I moved out of my apartment into my house with my kids, I sat them down and we had a business meeting and I made them sign contracts. They were little kids. It was it was 10 years ago, or almost 11 years ago. And I said to them that our apartment was our play clothes and these were our dress clothes, this house, and that I'm the president and they are my, shareholders. And I said to them, your rooms are your stock. And if you'd like to keep stock in this business, you better keep your rooms clean. And they looked at me and they were like, and then I said, and you know what? If you can't keep it clean, at least keep your door closed. Keep the rest of the house company ready. That's what I've always said to my kids. And they got it. And I said, I worked my ass off to get us to get to this point. You've worked your ass off to get to where you are in your career. And, I'm working towards that. And for me, I can relate to that in the salon. Sure. But it's like, it's a lot. People don't realize when something looks so natural. For you, it's very natural looking. It looks easy what you do. I've watched you perform a million times, whether I've had the pleasure of, opening for you or hosting for you or being in the audience or whatever. I've watched you and you make it look pretty freaking like it's just you're having a conversation.
Well, it's also 10,000 hours of doing it too.
But that's the thing. People don't realize that there's been a ton of work. Like every haircut and color I do that looks like it's like, oh, right. I could do that. I'm like, yeah, like what are you guys doing this weekend? I'm cutting hair and talking. It's because I put my dues in.
Sure. And people don't understand the fact that as many great shows as we've had, there's been nights where I've been in my car crying on the way home because I've bombed my ass off. Or, I can have and here's on a flip side, I can have an amazing show and focus on the one joke that didn't go over well.
Exactly. Always.
Never happy. Because I never ever say I crushed or I killed or I murdered. I despise when comics say that. I despise when they say that. What I say is the crowd was amazing.
Yes, you always do say that.
The crowd was amazing because the crowd is what brings the show. You have it's up to them to laugh, or it's up to them to really enjoy themselves. We know what works. Because it's trial and error. It's just like you have probably given a bad haircut in your life, right?
Sure.
Right? You learn from it, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't do that technique, or you changed something, whether it was you had the radio on that day and you gave a bad haircut and you're just like, oh, well, you know what? I can't have the radio on anymore. Whatever it is, you change it and you fix it and you adapt and you move on. And that people don't get that it takes so much time to get there, to get to that point.
Yeah.
Get there a lot quicker. Some of us takes a lot longer, but it's a lot of hard work.
And I think too with comedy, I mean, like you could have a great night, and then you could bomb, have a great night, have you know what I mean? Like where you could do the same exact stuff. And it's like serving meatloaf 3 nights in a row to carnivores, and then one night you have like a full-on vegetarian audience, and you're like, fuck, like they hate meatloaf,
true. Like, I mean, I've gone so many weekends where, you know, when I go away for a weekend, I'm doing like 3 shows at a club, and you know, I mean, you've done them too. Like you've done the weekend stuff with me too. So you know that a Friday show sucks. A Friday show always sucks because you're working till 5:30, 6 o'clock. You come home, you throw some food down your throat. You don't even have time to take a shower. You're still running to the show because you bought tickets, and now you're sitting there and you're still thinking about your asshole boss, right? And how your secretary didn't file something for you, and blah blah blah. So your mind's not in the game. So your Friday shows always consistently suck, worse than the rest of them. Your Saturday early show is a bunch of old people because they want to go out early.
Yes.
7 o'clock show. They could be home by 9 o'clock and watch Jeopardy on fucking their DVR. Okay. It's always a weird one. For me, the late show on Saturday is fire. I don't care if it's, you know, 150 people at the early show and 15 at the late show. The late show is always my favorite one.
So much fun.
It's always my favorite one because they're the ones who have invested time to get dressed, go out. Hey, let's go get some dinner. They have a couple drinks in them already. They're going to a comedy show and they're like, whoa, let's do this. You know,
let's go crazy.
Always the best show.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's like a private benefit show or something like that, where like they're going there for it. You know, and we've had those too, where they're going to the show and they know what they're coming for and blah blah blah. But people just don't get sometimes how, like you said, it looks easy, but
it's not that easy. I mean, there are nights that are easier than others, and there are more fans in an audience sometimes than others. Like when you see people and they're like, "Oh, I love this guy," or "I love this girl. I can't believe we're here for you guys,"
right.
And that pumps you up. That pumps you up. But I mean, it's the same as having that one heckler. And it's like, I kind of dig that though, because I kind of like to go in. But my issue, which I know is an issue, because I talked to Tracy about it. Like, it's funny because I consider you, and everybody knows this, I consider you a mentor. I consider Tracy a mentor. I have 2, like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that I look up to in this business, but as far as longevity and as far as like what you've accomplished and what you've done. And it's funny because I feel like it's like devil and angel on the shoulders. And I don't know if you can guess which one you are, but
no,
but she'll say to me all the time, "You can't turn on your audience." I'm like, "But why?" You know? And even though I know I'm not supposed to, I'll watch you do it, but you have a finesse and you could turn and you could say something like, "Shut the fuck up." And like, I'll see you do it. And I'm like, but then you get like, you turn it around. Oh
yeah.
no, it's gone. Where'd he go?
I'm here.
Wait, but you just, it's weird. It's like I just jinxed you. Oh, Jesus.
I'm here. Can you see me still?
I can't see you, but I hear you. That's so weird. It's like,
I'll jump back in.
okay, that was so weird. When you guys were off stage, okay. That was so funny. I'm like, as soon as I talked about him getting the audience back on his side, he was gone. All right, let's see. I hope he's there. I hope he's there. I hope he's there. Are you there? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Shit. Why does this do this? Wait, hold on. Don't go anywhere. Maybe you have to go somewhere. Hold on. Wait, let me see. Shoot. Should we start all over again? We can start all over again. Okay. Thanks so much for watching. We'll start all over again. Come on back over.